Boom, boom, boom. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? What's going on? There we go. All right. Here we go. Had to check to make sure we were straight. It is a Friday, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're back. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Where are you? Where are my peeps at? What is your favorite choice of snack? Let's say that we were gonna watch a movie together, and what would y'all have for a snack? What would y'all have for a snack? Boise, Idaho. Mr. Monte Edgar. Kathleen is there. What's up, Kathleen? Chicken wings. Debbie says chicken wings. Cheese apples. Linda, we got to talk. I got to find out about that one. Cheese apples. If we were going to watch a movie together, what would you bring? What would you have? Okay. Well, if you say movie popcorn. Okay. Yeah, I can get the broadcast. Okay, Carl is here. Basically what today is Friday, and you know this is ask questions day. Ask me whatever you want to. Politics, entertainment, sports. Bring it on. You know my favorite football team is Dallas Cowboys. My basketball team is the Lakers. My baseball team is the Orioles. I am a writer for the politicalinsider.com. For most of you, you are here with me every day, Monday through Friday at lunchtime. We usually talk about politics, but on Wednesdays and Fridays, you give me questions. Linda says, love listening to you. Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. Monte says he likes the Steelers. Okay, all right. What's up with the airlines? Larry Dahl says, what's up with the airlines? I don't know. They've been up in the air too long. That's what it is. They just beating people up. People beating other people up. I mean, it's turning into a UFC thing going on there. Patriots, okay, Eagles. Is Facebook blocking your broadcast? They could be. Once you start, averaging like a couple thousand, then Facebook wants in on it, or Twitter is the same way. Once you start averaging a whole lot of people, then somebody's monitoring it, and somebody's gonna come and say, okay, we want a little piece of it. Isn't that right, Mr. President? He agrees. So okay, so we're here to take your questions. And okay, Derek, what do you think about Obamacare 2.0? Hey, you labeled it. You labeled it Obamacare 2.0. Wow. Did y'all know this? I did not know this until late yesterday afternoon, after my radio show last night, or during my radio show last night. Am I trying to talk like I have an accent? No. Okay. The Senate came out yesterday and says we're not even going to vote on the bill. They're not even going to look at it. They are not going to look at the House bill that the House did their little spike dance with. How many of y'all were turned off by the spike dance? How many of you? Okay, well, let me say it like this. How many of y'all? I'm country, so if you hear me, boxers or briefs. Depends on the season. What was I going to say? Okay, so. Whoa. Michael Hill says, waiting for you to drop dead? Really? Michael. Derek, did they really say that? Derek, did they really say that? Waiting for you to drop dead? Really? Okay. Obamacare 2.0. All right. He really did. Okay. Well, okay. Well, let's see. Michael Hill. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Michael Hill in the chat just told me, waiting for me to drop dead. You know, we have First Amendment speech for everybody, Michael. It doesn't mean that every jack turd can get on here and talk and say something that really means anything. But, you know, we'll give you your space. And I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you, man. I'm going to pray that God slaps you right upside the head. I'm going to pray that God gives you a vehicle to get rid of your anger before you hit a wall. Okay? Okay, now, I'm going to go back to Obamacare 2.0. How many of you knew that the Senate was not going to vote on the House bill? That's crazy. Many people that watched them on the White House lawn yesterday, they didn't know that. So when you're seeing all the House members and stuff, you know, they on the White House lawn, we just passed the law. Hold on, wait a minute. That's not it. That's not it. They just gave the American people a false sense of hope by doing that. Now, I support President Trump, and he probably didn't know. Somebody from the House said, "Let's get all the House members and just let's go over to the White House and let's do this great. No. That government doesn't work like that. Government doesn't work like that. House writes their bill, Senate writes their bill, and then they go into reconciliation. That's how it works. Now, what we have been brought up with over the last 20 years with the Bush administration and the Obama administration is that Congress wasn't doing its job. The House would send up a bill, the Senate would say okay, and then it would go to either Bush or Obama. That's not how government works. This bill might not even be done until July. Okay? And Derek says, the question was, what do you think about Obamacare 2.0? It might turn out to be Obamacare again. Because from what I'm hearing, some of the members in the Senate want to put Planned Parenthood back into the bill. And there's going to be a fight over that one. So what they did yesterday, I was shocked because they looked like rookies yesterday. And Paul Ryan knows better than that. McCarthy knows better than that. These people know better than to do this, and they did it yesterday. And so many people on social media who don't know anything about civics, don't know anything about how the way government works. They're like, yeah, we passed it, yeah. You just walked into the room with a bill, man. Sit down and let the other people come up with theirs. And believe me, theirs is going to be dramatically different because they didn't even like the House bill. So it's going to be a fight. And I know President Trump was like, well, the Senate's going to take this bill and roll with it. No, they're not. They don't have to. All right. Next question. Stevie Ennis. Why doesn't the White House answer my emails? Hey, Stevie, I'm sure they get to it. Believe me. You're probably right in the queue, man. You're right in the queue. I'm sure that they're going to get to you. Just hang on, bro. Hang on, man. John D'Amidio. I hope I got that right. Where are you from? You like so many different teams around the United States. You know what? Yeah, it is crazy. I am from the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I'm from the Eastern Shore. I live in Baltimore now, but I'm from the Eastern Shore. We didn't have a sports team over there. And when I was growing up, I didn't like the Colts because the Colts, their uniforms suck. All white with just the blue horseshoe. I really didn't like that. My first ever football game that I ever saw was the Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers. And I loved the star on the helmet. It reminded me of America. the silver helmet, the blue star. I just fell in love with him. Even though they lost the game, that was the catch too. As a matter of fact, that was the first game I ever watched, and I just liked it. The Lakers was the first basketball team that I ever saw. They running up and down the court, passing the ball, looked like the Harlem Globetrotters. That's why I liked them. And yeah, that's just me. Now I do like the Baltimore Orioles. That's my home team, and I used to listen to them on the radio. Since we didn't have a team, I used to listen to them on the radio at night going to sleep. So they kind of grew into me. Okay, Judy Duber. Do you think Susan Rice should testify? Yeah, I think she should. And if not, I think Susan Rice should be put in jail, locked up. I mean, thrown in the hole and throw the hole away. That's where I think Susan Rice should be, because the Obama administration, everybody basically got off. Every time they got in front of Congress, they got off. The only person that really didn't testify in front of Congress like that was Eric Holder, who was held in contempt and nothing happened to him. Yes, I do think Susan Rice should be made to testify. Do you? Yes, I do think she should testify, and I think she should be made to testify. I think that they should put matches right down there by her toes, and every time she don't want to answer a question, or every time that she wants to plead the fifth, you light a match. I don't care. I don't care about torture. I really don't. I don't. Donna Schwartzman, don't you love God back in the equation where America is concerned? Donna, thanks for that. I was just thinking about that the other day. And I do. I really do. With the Religious Liberty Executive Action, or the action that President Trump signed, it feels good. It feels good when you think of it from a Christian perspective, that somebody does care about Christians. Again, for 8 long years, Christians were put on the back burner. Christians have been targeted for death overseas and for ridicule and hatred over here in the United States of America. Well, under President Trump, that's not going to happen over here. Now, what happens over in the other countries, we're looking and pray for. But over here, not going to do it no more. You don't have a clear angle shot against Christians like that anymore. And if so, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. We need that. Okay? We need that. Thank you, Don. Don says, preach it, brother. Yeah, I'm preaching. Daniel Varinelli, why do we celebrate a Mexican holiday here in the United States? Do Mexicans celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Well, Daniel, I really don't know if Mexico celebrates St. Patrick's Day. But you say, why do we celebrate a Mexican holiday over here in the United States? I don't know. Next time I go into Taco Bell, I'll ask. Seriously, I really don't know. I don't celebrate it. I let them celebrate it. They can do whatever they want to. I don't celebrate it. I don't know nothing about it. For real. Brett Barton, will the GOP ever grow a pair? Only if you vote them out, Brent. Only if you vote them out. The only way for the GOP to really? All right. Well, Mr. President says yes. If you vote them out, they will grow a pair, because then you put somebody in that is am I saying it wrong? Okay. Just vote the people out, man. Just, vote them out. That's what I think. That's what the president thinks. Vote them out. Put some people in there that are going to help him. And he's really going to be happy about it. He's really going to be happy. All right, Bill Boyle. This healthcare reform needs more time. Why the big rush to pass something? Mr. Bill, I'm glad you said it, and I want you to understand something. Well, actually, I want to jump on what you just said, because that's what the Senate said yesterday. They ain't rushing. There's no reason to rush. I don't know why the House rushed it, but the Senate said we're not rushing. So to answer Mr. Boyle's question, there you go. I mean, the Senate said that they are not going to rush this health care bill. They don't have to, or at least that's what they say. Brenda Spears, Hamilton government. Wait, Brenda Spears Hamilton says government ran health care is a disaster. Look at how our vets are treated. Not only our vets, well, I'm a vet too, but just homeless and our kids across America. And, you know, government was never intended to do all these things. Somebody got it in their thick skull that government needed to be in charge of education, needed to be in charge of veterans, needed to be in charge of so many things, social programs. But what people forgot to tell them, and what people forget to tell them, is you don't make any money. You don't make any money. You don't create, hell, you can't even create a budget. But yet you're doing all this money for programs without a budget that are making people lazy. And liberals hate when they hear that people being lazy when you give them stuff. It's the truth. You give somebody stuff over 20 years. Why 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, a year? Give somebody something free for over a year. What's going to make them go out and do on their own? Nothing. They're going to sit in front of their TV, eating bonbons and potato chips, flipping the channels from HBO to Showtime or Cinemax, and wait for you to give them their stuff every month. Why do they need to get up and go do anything if you're going to give it to them? You make them work for it. It's just that easy. You make them work for it. Government doesn't need to be in your house. They don't need to be in your front yard. They don't need to be really in your neighborhood except for law enforcement. And government doesn't even need to do law enforcement either. Now, they're supposed to be protecting the country. The government is supposed to be protecting the country, not printing food stamps or going to the Federal Reserve and stealing money out of that, or going to your Social Security lockbox and taking that money. There's a bunch of criminals and hipsters, man. Okay, all right. Ruth Stern, you sound like CNN discouraging the citizens of this country. No, Ruth, it's called Real Talk. I don't live in the clouds. I don't live in a utopia. The truth is the truth. The House shouldn't have came out there and spiked the football, knowing damn well that the Senate has to. That the Senate said that they aren't going to sign a bill, or that they aren't going to even look at their bill. Now, would it be wrong for me to tell you that, or are you okay with walking around all weekend? We got a bill. We got a bill. We got a bill, knowing that that's not the truth. No, I'm not going to do that. And nobody should do that. You should be more into real talk and holding Congress accountable than wanting to drink unicorn frappuccinos. That's not cool. That's not cool, man. Frank Lucas, hey Wayne, can I smash that bobblehead on your table? Come on. Right there. Smash. You want my address? Smash it. Come on. Ruth says, and Ruth, this isn't directed at you, but I've been a Trump supporter for a long time. I've interviewed him 5 times. He knows me. I have his number. I do. I really do. I have his number. I have his office number. We were pushing him before he even considered running. We knew he was going to run. The month before he declared, we interviewed him on my radio show. I know the man. I've known him since the late 80s. Okay. I've watched him as a young man. So you can't out-Trump me. And just because I want to hold my president accountable doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It means I'm a smart person. Most of y'all, and you know, some of y'all gonna get mad with what I'm getting ready to say, but some of y'all remind me of Obama bots. I know people on social media right now, Trump can't do no wrong. Oh, well, you know, Trump, no, yes he can. Yes he can. Power corrupts anybody. Power corrupts anybody. The only perfect person that I know was Jesus Christ. That's it. Mr. Trump is not perfect. He's my president. I support him. I stand beside him in taking care of issues that Republicans and Democrats have not been able to take care of. But I'm not putting him up on no pedestal like Jesus Christ. That ain't happening. And some of y'all have done that. So that's me. That, you know, I'm going to back off that. But, you know, people questioning my loyalty and like somebody just put me in the class of CNN. Don't do that. Don't do that. I ain't in the fake news. I ain't about fake news. I'm about real talk. Real talk will keep you safe. Unicorn utopia will get you hurt. Mary Abeta. Are they even trying to prosecute Obama and Hillary? No, they're not. They're not. I live in a world of black and white. I do. Now, I'm not talking about color of skin. I live in a world of black and white. Maybe, if you use the word maybe to me means no. When somebody says yes, they can do something, yes, they can do something. If somebody says no, they can't, no, they can't. I'm not going to get mad when you say you can't do something. Okay. But if Congress really wanted to prosecute Hillary and Barack, they would do it. They would do it. So the answer to your question, Debbie, is no, they don't want to do it. When somebody comes and says, well, you know, okay, well, maybe I want to do it. Let me go and find somebody else who can do it. No, wait. I didn't say I could do it. Basically, you did, because you're in the middle. You can't get things done in the middle. And that's where Congress is. Well, some of Congress, they're in the middle, which means they don't want to prosecute her. I don't want to hear about no deciding factors and no. Either you put the woman on the stand because she has so much evidence, man. There's so much evidence to put her away for years. And same as the other woman, Barack. You could put both of those women up there on the stand and prosecute both of them, put them in the woman's prison. And just because I call Barack Obama a woman, that ain't me. Y'all should read his book. He already said that he was thinking about coming out gay. That ain't me. That's him. Thing I'm playing is in his book. Scott Bubba Baker. Please tell me why states ran by Republicans tend to do well. Wyoming, Texas. And states ran by Democrats fall apart. California. Maybe I'm wrong. Shed some light. Democrats don't know how to run anything. Democrats don't know how to run anything. And I've said this on my radio show a lot too, is that Democrats steal Republican ideas. They do. Obamacare was stolen from Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney ran his healthcare system in Massachusetts. Do you know how big Massachusetts is? It's really not that big. Barack Obama, for universal, well, for everybody being covered, Mitt Romney had the best plan up there in Massachusetts. So what did Barack Obama do? Barack Obama sent some people up there, talked to Mitt Romney's people, and instead of testing it on the American people, they just shoved it on the American people without testing it, without beta testing it. Okay? Democrats steal Republican ideas. They gut the common sense out, put money in the places where common sense was, and says, here it is. Here we go. California, New York, Maryland, Baltimore, Texas, Florida, Virginia. Democrats are trying to take over these big states. Because, look, think about this. You know, Hillary Clinton is going around saying that she won 3 million votes, which is a damn lie. It's a damn lie. It's a lie. There's no way that Hillary Clinton won 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. That's a lie. And let me go back to the healthcare thing that Derek talked about before. The Democrats kept saying yesterday that the Healthcare Act was going to was going to kick 24 million people off of Obamacare. It's not true. That's not true. What they are doing is with the new healthcare system in place, you can choose whether you want to leave or not. You can choose whether you want to look out for more options, and you can leave the system. Now, 24 million people and their families and stuff will be able to do that. And when they leave, yes, they will be leaving the system. But this healthcare plan is not kicking people off. It's not kicking 24 million people off, and that's what they're saying. Okay. Now, in the case of California and Baltimore and all these states, and I said Hillary Clinton did not win 3 million more votes than President Trump. I want y'all to understand what they're doing, though. Democrats have this strategy, and a whole lot of people aren't thinking about it, but you have to think about it. Democrats are trying to win the big states. They're trying to carry the big states so that the big states outweigh the little states. So when the election comes, all they have to do is go to New York, Florida, Texas, Colorado, Virginia, California, Las Vegas, Arizona, Minnesota, Wisconsin. They want to go to the big states that have the most population so they can get more of the votes. Okay? Or at least that's what I think. That's just me. That's what I see. But it didn't work for them this time. And that's why I want everybody that is listening to me, if you know somebody, or even if you want to get out and run for office, start in your neighborhood. Okay, because that's where Democrats are stealing things. Okay, that's where they're controlling neighborhoods and cities and towns. These city councils, get on that. Start taking the city councils back. That's what and my last question here. It's a two-parter. First, have you ever thought about running for office? Yes, I have. I have thought about running for office. Got a second part of that question, Chief? Yeah, I have. I have thought about it. Oh, man. Yes, I have thought about running for office, but my problem is they would probably go back to my elementary school and find something that I did wrong. I used to have a whole lot of girlfriends when I was growing up, and they're probably going to find something, as a little kid, you pinching tail, and that probably had me for some sexist thing I did back in elementary school. He grabbed her tush, and my campaign will be over. Okay, the second part is Brett Favre 321 consecutive starts the most impressive feat in sports history? Who is Brett Favre? Christine Carter says, "Shame on you." Christine Carter is laughing at me because I can't run for office because the Democrats will go back and find out some of the same thing that Frank Lucas says. Wayne is lame. Yeah, Frank. Look, before I go, hey Frank, I know your yard time is over. I don't know how much time you get on the computer, but I heard Big Bubba in your cell is waiting for you, Chief. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Frank has to get back. Lockdown is happening, so I gotta go. Frank, make sure Frank Lucas in the chat room only gets about like a minute and a half worth of shower time before he has to go back to his cell. I told you, man, Big Bubba's waiting for you. Pamela, I love you too. I love you too. God bless you. Mary is laughing at Bubba Frank. Thank you, Lee Smith said, I enjoy your show. Christine Cartier. That's a pretty name. Frank Lucas. That's not even his name. Frank Lucas was a gangster. This Frank Lucas in the chat room is a criminal. All right, I gotta go. Y'all have a great weekend. He is a criminal. He's a crook. His sister. Well, okay. All right, I gotta go. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Remember, Wednesdays and Fridays are Ask Me Anything Day, but we'll be back here on Monday. I gotta go, Mr. President. I'll talk to you later.